Well, here I am all alone. Nobody to speak to. I'm sure some people would suddenly just ping and appear. Well, let's hope they do anyway. Who can possibly say? This, of course, has been done. Not suggested to anybody else going to do this. Just happened to get some things set up. So I thought, what the heck? I will pop on. So, Andrew, nice to see you, mate. Back from Scotland, and I've got to tell you, mate, it's windier and colder and nastier here in Yorkshire than it was when I was up there. So that's been brilliant, hasn't it, really? My goodness, 5 people in the room already. That's a little bit scary. Hope the audio is okay. There may be a little bit of lag. It's worse. It's because I've come home, mate. There may be a little bit of lag with the audio syncing to me gob, but we're not worried about that today. Today is just about just a quick little note to everybody so you know what's going to be happening and coming up in the next few weeks, because I've been fairly quiet. Like I said, I've had a few days away doing bits and pieces, just generally enjoying life. Good afternoon, David. Good to have you aboard. So we had 5 and now we've got 3, so people are running away already. Why is that supposed to bother me? Yeah, basically, it's all about what's in this box here. Yeah, got a box here with something in it. Right, we're up to 5. Sorry, I'm going to start telling you about it. I will edit this a bit and mess about with it a bit and save it, but we'll just do we'll show you what's what. Little bit of backstory. Basically, quite a while ago, I decided I wanted to build a Core XY machine. Looked at some of the ones that were on the market, the pre-built ones from China. They looked quite interesting. Spoke to companies about them. Then started seeing reviews coming back from people. And I kind of thought, there's some issues with these, that the quality wasn't there. The support wasn't there. It was a bit hit and miss. Considered getting an Ender 5. All right, Scotty. Considered getting an Ender 5 and then thought to myself, well, I don't know. And then there were a couple of videos appeared on YouTube. Chris Riley did a couple of videos on a machine, and then Teaching Tech, he did a couple of videos on a machine, and I thought, you know what, that's the machine for me. And the few of you that know what I'm talking about, it's a guy out of Taiwan, and the machine he creates, the company is called Sekit 3D. Sekit stands for second kit, meaning that it's the second 3D printer that you buy. So in his mind, you've bought a 3D printer, you've worked with it, you understand how it works, and you want to move to the next level. Well, I'm already sort of got at least one machine. So put my hand in my pocket and spent every penny I got for Christmas. And I got a machine which basically cost $590. I have the thing there that tells me it was $590. And then I had to pay another £109.35 import duty, tax, the money that Parcel Force take off me. Goodness knows what else. So, plus there was another $90 shipping or something, $96 shipping. So all in all, I'll give you a final figure at some point. It cost quite a lot of money. But it's a really nice bit of kit. Well, let's hope it is. Now, what I then sort of, I've been in the Facebook group. I will put links to the Facebook group, to his web page. He's also got, my brain's gone dead. He's also got a GitHub up for it. And the Facebook group is absolutely brilliant. There are some everybody on there that's building it, they're all working together. They're all helping each other out with any issues. Everybody's designing modifications and sharing them to the group. It's a really nice group. It's really very active, really very active, and everybody's really helpful and good with each other. So that's a real positive for the building of the kit, because I know I've got a lot of people out there that are building it, have built it, and are really happy to help. I was talking to them before my kit arrived about how I was going to do this once I got it. Was I going to do a live build? Was I going to build it privately and then review it? A live build is out the question. Reason being, there is an awful lot of work involved in this kit. I'm talking 15, maybe 20 hours of building, checking, rechecking, rebuilding, getting everything absolutely right. The thing about a Core XY machine, as I'm sure you'll know, stuff has to be right. It has to be perfectly square. So it wasn't a viable idea for me to try and do a live build. I would be up for 3 days, and it would be a mess. I mean, it was bad enough trying to do the Prusa in a live build. That ended up being 2. So I spoke to the lads in the group, over 1,000 people on the Facebook group already, and they said what would be best from their point of view is a build video done in sections that actually show close up how things go together, how to fit things together, how to check things. So that's my plan. What I intend on doing is doing a high quality set of videos. Video 1 will be building the frame. Video 2 will be doing the gantry and getting the stepper motors in and getting the lead screws in place and the high win rails, that kind of thing. And then we'll do the electronics in another video, and then we will do a setup of the whole machine in another video, and then we'll do flashing the firmware. And when we've done all that and we've got the machine up and running and printing, that will be a section of video. So that will then be useful for people in the future who buy the machine to be able to refer to it and see how I did it, and see the close-up shots, that kind of thing. But it's going to take me a lot of time. It does mean that I'm not going to have the machine built this weekend and be playing with it, which I would have loved to have done. It means it's going to take weeks, because there's not only the shooting, it's the editing and everything else that goes with it. But I'll take one for the team. That's what we'll do. That's how we'll work it. Then when I've done that, there are an awful lot of customizations you can do to it. People have put different bed leveling sensors on it. They're talking about using different boards on it. I've got a little thing sitting up here, which I've already printed, which is a screen there, which says Sekit Go across the bottom. But you'll know what that's for. That also goes with something which I now cannot find. But basically, I've got a Duet 2 Wi-Fi board, which I will put on it. But I will use the standard board and the standard setup first, and then go to adding the Duet to it later, so people get a standard machine. And then, like I say, we'll do the customizations afterwards with one thing and another. That's kind of the way I want to go. But what I thought I'd show you today, because, of course, it's a new machine. The box is there. I was itching to have a look in it. I thought we would just have a little look today. I'll just do a little bit of a live stream for 10 minutes or so. It's been 9 minutes already. Just looking at how it comes, what it looks like, that kind of thing. So if I can work out how to use this silly machine properly, and I do that, that should now just take us to the box. So if I take the top off that like that, you can now see how the box is laid out. Now, I've had a little look. Sorry if the mic goes a bit funny, but I'm just moving myself over. So basically, we have got, it's in 3 layers. You've got the top layer here. So we've got the main board, which, as you can see, if I can get it into focus, it's the SKR 1.3 from Big Tree Tech. So we've got that in the kit. So that's the standard board that he ships it with. Then we've got drivers. They're TMC 2209s. So they're already there and in the kit. Afternoon, Carl. Good to have you here. Thank you very much for bobbing in. Very kind of you. We have some proper high wind rails, bearings, sorry, and rails. Now, with those, I am going to also go through how to clean them, oil them, fit them, check them. So that's going to be quite a long video in itself, but I think it's important that that's done and done properly. So we've got the bearing sets for those, like that. So proper high wind. He was selling some copies, whatever you wish to call them, clones, copies of the high wind rails and bearings, but he did come across some issues with them. Majority of the people that were ordering the kit, he decided not to use the Chinese bearings and only sell the high wind runs because he knows that they're of a better quality. Yeah, Carl, got that, dude. That's part of what I'm going to do. This is all part of what I want to do. It's to make it. I've done a lot of research. I've done an awful lot of looking at these things because I was going to buy the Chinese bearings, and then realized that it probably wasn't the way to go. So yeah, like I say, everything's going to be taken out. It's going to be cleaned. And we're going to go through this process together. So it is going to take a while. It's not going to be a weekend's work. This is going to be done properly. It's going to take up all my spare time. But hopefully at the end of it, we'll have a decent machine and a decent set of videos for people. That means they're going to be able to build the kit successfully. And they're going to have something to look back on. Power supply. Proper Meanwell. Oh, focus down you. Yeah, 24-volt Meanwell power supply. So he's not skimping on the quality of the stuff that goes into the kit. I can't get that back in the box. That's a bit annoying. There we go. She's back in. The hot end. Look at this lovely little box. That's a Triangle Labs setup. So you've got all the cabling here. As you can see, V6 style hot end. Eventually, of course, it will be getting the Hemira hot end fitted as one of the alterations. I also have a couple of other ideas for hot ends that could be coming. So we've got the direct drive, dual drive extruder copy, malarkey. All the bits and pieces. So although he's not using the best of the best of the best, you know, it's all upgradable should you see fit. Like I say, it's built to be played with, I think. Do it in less than 32 episodes. Oh my goodness, don't. So we've got lots of brackets for the frames. They're already there. We've got cable management. We've got the belts. We've got UK power supply. Proper UK power supply, which is fantastic to see. But everything is already done, you see. All the crimping's done on all the cables. Of course, when I change it to the Duet 2 copy that I have, I'll have to recrimp all those, but that's by the by. The power supply is already got all the cable management dealt with. Everything's already crimped in place. More belts. A pair of handles in case you want to pick it up, which I think is a lovely idea. More belts. So basically the kit has just about, well, it's got everything you need. Like I say, he has a PDF build for it, which is getting updated constantly as people who are building it point things out they think ought to be changed. He's then changing them. He's updating the way it's written So we'll work through the latest version of that. There is it's a rip wrap discount LCD. So that's another Big Tree Tech part with the converter to the twin cables off the back. We've got fans. Hey Thomas, thank you for popping in. Washers, all labeled. Look, everything labeled up, which is wonderful. Everything's got a label on it, so we know what we're looking for when we're on the build. All the T-nuts, all the M3s, nuts, the lot. I mean, everything has been done, and this guy is basically doing most of this on his own. He's started employing what he calls his noisy aunties, who have helped him put the kits together, basically count the nuts, put them in the bags, that kind of thing, to speed the process up. Because after the couple of videos went out from Teaching Tech and from Chris, his sales went through the roof. Basically, inside a month, he was just suddenly selling so many machines that he was struggling to keep up. Of course, now we have the issue of the coronavirus in China. He is struggling to get parts out of China. He is speaking to his suppliers. They are now back at work and they are able to ship parts to him in smaller batches than he's used to, but that is unfortunately how they are having to work. They are working on reduced numbers of staff and at a reduced rate. So rather than just say to one company they can have all they want and nobody else gets anything, everybody's getting, but they're all getting reduced amounts just to keep it fair. But it does mean he has a bit of a backlog now, which he promises he will get through as quick as he can. So hopefully by the time I've got this video series finished, he'll be back up to full steam again, which will be lovely. But as you can see, everything is nicely labelled, everything in its own little bags. For one guy on his own with his aunties, I think he's doing amazingly well, bless him. Filament run-out sensor, that's the bed levelling sensor that comes with it, which isn't necessarily to everybody's best design, let's say. I've used one of these before on one of the BQ Magicians Delta printers. I had a bit of an issue with it, but it's no issue to put a different bed leveling sensor on it. But that's what it comes with. So we will fit that. We will test it with that. And then, like I say, we'll move on to the mods afterwards. So we've got the stepper motors in there. We've got all the pulleys. Oh, I'm going to have to get up. My goodness, I've been sat down for too long. I should bring the microphone over with me. So in there, we've got pulleys, more pulleys, brackets, all sorts of interesting and novel bits and pieces. But all very nicely packed, very nicely put together. Lots of aluminium pieces, all, cut perfectly to size. In there, I believe, are my rails. I'll just pull that out and have a quick good look. Oh, there's all sorts in here. There's more pieces of cut aluminium. Very nicely put together, all oiled up as well, so that everything's going to need a good clean, a good degrease, which is all part of the process, so that all will be shown. Exactly how to do that to make that nice and clean and dust free. My rails for my linear bearings are there. They're all branded, so they're all proper rails sat in there. So like I say, he's not using the clones anymore. He's only using genuine Hiwin now. because most people were ordering them, and he wasn't sure of the quality of the clones, so didn't want to risk any issues with people, having been sent something halfway across the world and it not being right. So that's the top layer. So we'll just move that out of the way. So, whoa, so on to the next layer. He says knocking his light over, which is never a good idea. So we have the lead screws. They're already pre-oiled, which is very nice. But again, they will be getting a clean, they will be getting re-oiled. It's a mains heat bed, as you can see. 400 watt, 220 volt. All the cabling already done. I won't unpack all this. So you've got a 3mm bed plate. This is the heat pad, which isn't actually stuck on. It is just got sticky tape around it at the moment. I have to do that. And then there is a flexible build surface with the sheet on, so it's magnetic. This piece of aluminium sheeting here is the back plate. So what that's for all the electronics and everything else, which will go onto the back of it. And then right at the bottom, we have all the extrusions. Now those, you could have these in black or in silver. I chose silver just for the sake of choosing silver. Again, these are all going to need to be cleaned. Just pull one out to show you. You can see they've got lots of flecks of metal in there from when they've been cut and drilled. So again, every single one of those is going to need to be cleaned, and just make sure that there's no swarf or anything in any of those. So it's a bit of a time-consuming job, but there's no point doing it by halves. So it's all going to get done properly. It's all going to be done in sections. So the first thing, like I say, will be the frame build. Once the frame is built, we will then put the linear rails on, the stepper motors on, the lead screws on, then the bed. Then we'll do the electronics and the cable management. Then we will do the firmware. Then we will do the tweaking and the printing. And then we will do all the modifications after that. So it's a big thing. This is going to be, it's not going to be an easy job. It's not going to be a straightforward build it and take a couple of photographs job. I am going to have to do an awful lot of editing, an awful lot of close-up, high-res shots of things. I don't know whether you've noticed, but this camera I'm using here is fairly good quality because I bought another webcam. So this is it's a 4K one. So oh look, it shows that nasty cut on my finger. Theory behind that is when we're doing close-up work, I'm going to be able to get a decent amount of focus and a decent amount of quality. For instance, if I can get it to work, you can get better quality shots of what I'm actually doing, which is kind of the point of the whole thing. So it's going to be a long, drawn-out process. It's not going to be. I'm going to say it's not going to be particularly fun because I don't think it is. I think it's going to be a real headache, and will take a lot of time and a lot of work. And I'm sure I'll go through stages where I get very sick of doing it. But yeah, that's kind of where we are. That's what we're going to do. I'll get a little bit of me there. I'm back. So that's the future. That's for the foreseeable future. I will start the first video probably this weekend. Try and get the frame built, and we'll try and do like I said, a good video of building the frame, getting it all put together, how to get the T-nuts into place, all that kind of thing, how to measure the frame to get everything where it needs to be. And we're just going to move forward from there. I don't want to make each video too long. I'm kind of thinking about a couple of hours of actual video time. I mean, filming wise and editing wise, it's probably going to take me a day to do 2 hours finished footage. But that's just how it has to be. It has to be so it's right. So it's crisp, it's clear, it's understandable, and it's informative. I'm not doing it for the views. I'm not doing it for the income from it, because there's going to be precious little income from it. It's not like doing a live stream, you know, where people go, oh, you know, you're doing a really good job. Here's $10. I get yourself a drink. It's not that kind of thing. It's more about doing high quality, a good video. And hopefully the more people that buy the machine, they will be able to refer to it, and it will help solve some problems. But like I said, they've got a really good community. They've got a GitHub, which is constantly updated. Every time somebody comes up with an idea or a little alteration, things get, on a daily basis, things get improved, which is brilliant. I'm really looking forward to this machine. I've seen some prints that people have done with it. I know Chris Riley said after he'd built his, it was the best Benchy he'd ever printed. And I know that Teaching Tech was blown away with his. I've got lots of ideas in the future for, like I say, fitting a Hemera to it. I've got some other systems I want to put on it. I want to try some other bed leveling systems. I'm going to talk to Tim about using one of his ABL systems. But then I want to also try maybe a Pinder probe system, that kind of thing. Just really mixed it up and get lots of different things onto the machine and see how it works. That's pretty much it. I'm sorry that Dom's just turned up as I'm as I'm about to finish, but I intended on this only being half an hour, and we've been into 26 minutes. If anybody's got any quick questions about it now, or suggestions or anything before I disappear off, please do so, because I'm always open to, you know, talking to people about what I'm going to do. Kind of got in my brain how I'm going to do it, but if there's anything specific that people say, oh, well, you should really do this or you should really do that, I'm happy to listen. I'm not going to necessarily take any notice of you, but I'm happy to listen. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. That's how we're going to go with it. It's going to be 2-hour-long videos, each showing us a separate stage every step of the way. Like I say, cleaning everything, lubing all the rails, doing everything properly. Not just me talking to the camera while working, and you only getting a kind of partial view of what I'm doing. My face won't be on camera. It'll just be camera on what I'm doing, close-ups where necessary, and that's going to kind of be about the size of it. So we'll leave it at that for now, and we'll speak again soon. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye now.